Hey everybody, and welcome to Questbound. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the Zeus Mk II ES, one of the newest ships in the RSI lineup. We're going to break down everything you need to know before you buy, so stick around and I'll help you decide if this is the ship for you. Hey everybody, and welcome to Questbound. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Citizen ship, the Zeus Mk II ES. This is one of the two variants that's out right now. The other variant is the CL. This one is just sort of your all-around exploratory ship. The CL is a freight version, and I will be doing a video on that one very shortly, but today we're going to just take a look at this exploration variant. We're going to take a look at its base loadout, just how it flies right out of the gate, how it performs in combat, what it can do, what it can't do, and everything between. So the Zeus Mk II is kind of a cool ship. As its name implies, it is the second version of this ship right here. This is the first Zeus. This is the ship that got humanity off of Earth and into the stars. Was the first ship that ever had a quantum drive installed in it, and it's the ship that we used essentially at first to kind of get out there and colonize the galaxy. So kind of cool that they made a nod to this old ship in the lore and sort of recrafted it. You can see, the similarities between it and the wing structure, and just a cool little detail that they added here. So the ES is the version that RSI has put out to sort of be its all-around ship. Not really a ship that excels at any one thing, but I think it does everything that it can do fairly well. I've done some dogfighting in it. I've done a little bit of light freight. It gets you in, it gets you out. It can handle a little bit of a beating. You've got that turret on the bottom, so you can have a friend with you. There's another co-pilot seat in the ship, so you can actually have up to 3 people in the ship. And all in all, I think it does the things that it does well, and I mean, come on, it looks really good doing it too. But let's get into the interior and talk about what we have in there. So starting in the back here, we have the cargo bay. This cargo bay can hold up to 32 SCU of storage, a little less than others if we're comparing it to something like the Cuddy Black, which holds up to 46 SCU. It is a bit less, but when you're talking about those small freight missions that have 6, 7, 8 SCU, you can knock out a few of those in one run, make a little bit of money, or if you're doing bounties and you're picking up stuff as you're killing enemies, it's enough to get around with. You can also hold, maybe a couple of dragonflies and on up to a cyclone back here for, your exploratory gameplay. Can also see the fuel tank back here through this glass panel, which is kind of a cool little feature. Going in here to the left here, we have the crew quarters. Kind of a nice little crew quarter. It is interesting to me. This is one of the ships that doesn't actually have a captain's quarters or even a separate captain's bunk. Everybody's in the same room. That sense of exploratory camaraderie here, which I think is cool. Back over here, as you saw there, we had the 3 lockers. Those are storage bins. On the other side over here, we've got the kitchen. Pretty good sized little galley here. Awkward table though. I'm not sure how I feel about that table, just kind of pushed up against the wall there, but hey, across the hall here, we have first of 2 weapon racks. You can put 3 rifles and up to 6 pistols in here, which is kind of nice for the exploring gameplay. I don't use these very much as of right now, just because, your ship blows up or anything happens, guns are gone. Coming up next here, we have some more of the ship components and the engineers panel for when that comes into play here. And then 2 of the 3 ways in which you can get out of the ship here. We had that docking collar and the ladder. 3 suit lockers here as well for when that comes into play. Going on up here into the front, we have the bridge. This is the second of the 2 weapon racks in here. This has the same amount plus one of those larger weapons like the rail guns can fit in there, which is kind of nice here for a ship like this. Um, and just all in all, a good looking cockpit here. You've got the pilot, co-pilot, and gunner seat here. When we sit down in here, we'll see. I think it's got a pretty nice view here. I like how the MFDs pop up there from the sides of the chairs. I think it just looks really cool when those pop up like that. On the bottom here, we have several buttons for exiting the ship. We have the engine on off, power on off. I like buttons. I like as many buttons as you can press in game to not break the RP, but that's just me. All right, next up we have everyone's favorite weaponry. As far as ordnance go, we have 8 Dominator 2 missiles. Not a ton, but again, I mean, just for the little things that you're going to be doing, like some light mercenary contracts and some bounty hunting. I think the weapons that the ship has are fine. Maybe in a future video I'll do, when this becomes available in game again and we can upgrade it, maybe I'll do an upgrade video at that time. But for the pilot weapons, you have 2 gimbal mounted size 4 Omniski 12 cannons. They perform pretty well. I felt like with at least any of the smaller to medium-sized ships, you don't have to stay on them too long, and do a decent amount of damage to them, especially if you hit them with a couple of those missiles to soften them up. For the co-pilot, though, you have a 2 size 3 CF337 Panther repeaters to play with. Now, my gripe about the turret gunner in this ship is that it's on the bottom, which is fine. I mean, you have the entire bottom of the ship. It's a really great field of view down there, but it's just the bottom. If the pilot has the target above the nose of the ship and their weapons are gimbaled and they're shooting up at the ship, then as the turret gunner, you just don't get to shoot at the target, really. It really takes a lot of effort on the pilot's part to keep those kind of below-ish or right out around your nose. So one cool thing about the turret, though, is that you can either go into the remote turret aspect and shoot it from the turret view, or you can also shoot it from your seat view to a certain extent, which is kind of cool, as long as, like I said, you keep the pilot's keeping that enemy below the nose of the ship. Alright, last but not least here, we're going to go over just the standard components in the ship as it comes stock right out of the hangar. So first up, we've got 2 size 2 cold snap civilian coolers. We've got 2 size 2 full force civilian power plants. 4 size 2 5MA Chamali civilian shields, and a size 2 Chaos civilian quantum drive. All in all, I think that stock right out of the hangar, the ship performs pretty well. I mean, it's not really meant to be a fighter, it's not really meant to be a freight ship, so upgrading it is just kind of up to you. I'm not going to go into full upgrades, but the first things I would maybe consider upgrading would probably be the power plants. I felt like even when I turned off one of the coolers and the life support, I still wasn't getting quite the amount of juice that I wanted to get into my guns and my engines and my shields, so that'd probably be the first thing I would upgrade. And then after that, kind of a balance between whether I'd upgrade the shields or the weaponry first. But to be honest, this isn't a ship I would be really trying to fight much in, outside of just fighting the mercenary missions and the bounty missions, at which I think it did fine. I think it did fine with what it had. So I don't know if this is a ship I would spend a lot of time upgrading, but it's definitely a solid option for just your daily driver. My personal thoughts on it, I don't think it would be a ship I would buy. Currently, you cannot buy it either in the game or on the website. Please leave a comment below if you find that to be not true. I looked on the website, I looked in-game, I couldn't find it anywhere. I think the last time you could buy this was 3.24. At that time, the standalone cost was 175 and the war bond was 160. So personally, I think there's ships that I prefer, either right at that cost or below. I mean, not even, I think, just go with a Cuddy. Now, I am a Drake guy. I like Drake ships. I like the dusty, the crusty, the rusty ships. I like my ships to look worn. I like them to feel like they've been in the verse for a while, and this ship just doesn't quite do that for me. It is gorgeous though. If you like this kind of design, it's a great daily driver. And when it comes back out again, I definitely would say for anybody who likes those just clean fighter looks, this is a great all-around ship. And that wraps up the video. If you guys like this content and want to see more, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We will be doing at least one video a week here. They will not always be Star Citizen videos. I will be doing reviews of some other games. I will be doing game guides for some of the games that we're going to be playing, as well as more ship review videos for Star Citizen, and also some guide videos for some of the quests. So until next time, remember, every great story begins with a quest.